So I will share you some topics. Yeah, a few minutes, just wait if someone show up. Usually we start at 11 o'clock. Just be a little bit relaxed. We can start it, right? Okay. Today I'm going to talk about Pema Sambhava you see in the photos. And this is a very famous statue, a photo of the Pema Sambhava statue. The quote looks like me. And the photo, I think, yeah, this is, you can see everywhere, in the website and other Dharma centers use this image for, yeah, Pema Sambhava's oldest statues, photo. Some, they saying that statue blessed by Pema Sambhava himself. And so if that's true, then it's made in the 8th century. And the new one, the next, was some they said the same statue is possessed in the Samye Monastery. And but still it exists at the next one. And that's, you can see the image of the Pema Sambhava. Usually we don't see directly, right? If you remembered about Pema Sambhava, then we have to remember some of his statues or tanka, paint of Pema Sambhava, or read some biography of Pema Sambhava. That's where we can yeah, understand about Pema Sambhava. And at Pema Sambhava, you can look at Pema Sambhava, a little bit biography of it, and then that's related to Buddha Shakyamuni, of course, founder of Buddhism. And he taught Tantra, mainly he publicly and widely taught about Sudayana teachings. Not much Vajrayana teachings. He taught Vajrayana teachings, some few special students, audience. And when he gave the prophecy saying that the Pema Sambhava will come and spread the Tantra teachings of what he started, right? And Buddha Shakyamuni. And so then later Pema Sambhava came. And when we talk about Pema Sambhava, then in Pema Sambhava's biography, it's extraordinary. It's not just a general person. And he was born miraculously in the Lotus Lake. So then, if you look at that perspective, the Pema Sambhava was already enlightened being. It's an emanation of Buddha Amitabha. You can see in here, Buddha Amitabha. And the Buddha Amitabha emanated, see the syllable we call Shi, and then and in the Lotus and lake, someday refers to as Indu, Sindhu River emerged to the ocean. It's now border of the Pakistan and India. So there's Indian River, right? Rivers merge into the ocean. It's that area. And some, yeah, I think that's some sort of common. And there's then, he was born as boy, 8 years old boy. And so at that time in India, there was called Indabodhi, Dharma king. The Dharma is already established in India. The king is devoted to Dharma. And he is blind. He doesn't have eyes. He can't see it at that point. And there's famine is going on. A lot have the poverty problems. And the king doesn't have the son, his successor, to keep going the kingdom, right? And he was very, very sad. And he says that um, he doesn't have the Dharma for the future lives. He doesn't have the son that needed is now for taking care of the country. And he was responsible, his country, but famine and bad things occur. So he really disappointed his life and situation. All his ministers and the um, gathering had meetings how they can make better the country and himself and everything. And all ministers has different ideas. Some they say that maybe they invent invaded other kingdoms, countries, the stealing on things. He doesn't want to do that because he's Dharma king, right? Some they said, or maybe they have to emphasize for the business of farming and so forth. But one wise minister saying that, oh, they should get a wish-fulfilling jewel in the island. It's lots of stories. And that's I'm telling the story, right? That's how Pema Sambhava's biography described. Who founded Pema Sambhava was Dharma king Indabodhi. Even though Indabodhi has many Indabodhis, but here's another Indabodhi. And so king agree that um, to get a wish-fulfilling jewel, then fulfill everything what he wishes. And then who has a capacity to go that Jewel Island, right? As there's one old man, he had been there, and Pema Sambhava, the king in the body, asking him to lead as captain to get the wish-fulfilling jewel, and he agreed, and then they prepared to travel that place. And saying that, or that, yeah, I'm not going to, long story, but it's all prepared. Saying that, or you have to have the cow, they need milk, right, in the boat, and the cow needed the grass, and there's monsters in the ocean. We have to test it, need, I think, a pigeon, bird, and they test it and throw in the ocean, and then maybe sometimes it come back. That means that area doesn't have any dangers or something. And the bird can't land in the ocean because there's no um, to land, and it will return back, and so forth. So that they all prepared, and the minister and the king all aboard and went. And then they arrived at that place. Place is in Nagaland. And minister, or this old guy, he guided and described how to go there and knock the door. There is a Naga lady, this beautiful ladies, bring the wish-filling jewel and take it then back. And in the body, he went there, he got it, wish-filling jewel, and he supplicated, then returned back. He saw there's something in the ocean, right? The birds and the rainbows and something. The king usually they don't see it. And he asked, what is there? And the minister said, can you see it? The king said, yes, I see it. Something there. The ministers described, the minister already saw that, right? Was boy, he want to take it back, or maybe it's a little bit, yeah, he has doubts. He doesn't know what he should do. And then king went with minister called Tinanzin, the name of the ministers, and they're together. And then Pema Sambhava was 8 years boy, took it with Lotus, put it in the boat, and as he now found the sun, right? He found the sun, and then Pema Sambhava was born in Lotus. Then when he took it, Pema Sambhava put it in the boat, then as Lotus appears, that he called Pemakara, Lotus-born. That's how described his name. And then as when he found Pema Sambhava, then his another eyes opened. He can see both eyes now. He has eyes, he has sun, and so then he wants Pema Sambhava stay at home, stay I think a few years, and taking care of some sort of kingdom, the Odhyana kingdom. Pema Sambhava decided to leave. Of course, his main purpose to came in this world to spread the Dharma, not taking care of the small kingdom, right? And he left, and we saying that he's already enlightened being. He really doesn't need to study, rely on the spiritual teachers in order to tame the student, to show the way of practice Dharma. He rely on the spiritual teachers, and they studied, and so forth. Then he become there's as many 8 manifestations that occur many long period time where his life someone appears as ordinary monastic form, as Pema Sambhava we called Shakya Singhe, and then some form is wrathful form of the Pema Sambhava. There's also Pema Sambhava as Dharma protector, and he propagated the Dharma teachings, right? In general, he's very kind for spreading Dharma teaching in the world. If you look at one part of his life, he made Dharma Ashoka Dharma king of Ashoka, right? Ashoka was very vicious. The king killed and conquered a lot of areas in India. He's the most, um, in fact, yeah, most the famous king in India. And so um, he killed lots people. So then later he saw the one a monk, and that's um, Pema Sambhava was animated as this as a Buddhist monk, right? And then he captured and tortured that monk. This monk he can't, captured and tortured. He burned. He can't burn that, Pema Sambhava. It's it says rainbow body, wisdom body. It's appears as, same thing. So that's the way he turned toward the Dharma. He renounced what he was doing, right? And the sadness of, destructions of it. And he turned to the Dharma practitioner. He spread the Dharma whole Asian countries. He sent missionaries and saved the Dharma, propagated. That's why we have right now Dharma. I think without Dharma Ashoka, there is maybe we don't have Dharma that Buddha taught. Dharma Ashoka is very important. So Dharma Ashoka turned to the Dharma king was kindness of the Pema Sambhava, right? That's where Pema Sambhava is important for, in general, Buddhism, the Mahayana Buddhism, and the Vajrayana, and Theravadan Buddhism. And then Pema Sambhava, in the biography, saying that usually we chanted 7 supplication of the Pema Sambhava, and that was occur first in Nalanda University. And one time, there were 500 Tirthikas, a very scholar, learned, and has black magic. It's very difficult to defeat it. And they debate um, um, with Buddhist scholars, right? And they most time they win. And they gradually toward to Nalanda University. If they conquered Nalanda University, defeated, then they will lose Buddhism, convert to Tirthikas followers. It's very dangerous. That's occur. It's Indian customs. Some great beings, like scholars, and they convert to teachers and students to someone else. It's back and forth, back and forth. That's always they did like this. Sometimes they have judge as king, and who's winner is just carrying all teachers, student, everything. So they want to defeat Nalanda University. All Nalanda Pandits afraid of it, and nervous, and they don't know what they should do. And then they got the prophecy from the Dakini, we call it Shivacho, the supreme peace of Dakini, saying that you can't defeat it with those Tirthikas. And you should invite my brother, Pema Sambhava, right? And he's reside or some very sacred place. And they says that how they should invite it. And she told the seven supplication, you should recite this, make offering, arrange some special place, which is top of some temple in the Nalanda University. They did, and the Pema Sambhava came and lead of the 500 scholars, right? Debate with the Tirthikas, and they win. And Tirthikas and also has black magic, Buddhist scholars, Nalanda University, leading by Pema Sambhava, and they went through the reasonings and the scriptures, right? It's truth. But they're not stopped there. They show the black magic something. And Pema Sambhava appears as forms wrathful, we call it Dojitolu. If you're familiar with it, 8 manifestations of Pema Sambhava, there's 2, it's very wrathful. So at that time, the Pema Sambhava saved Buddha Dharma again. That's why I said Pema Sambhava is it's a Dharma protector, right? Not only spreading the Dharma. And it is definitely very closely related to Nalanda University. And he had been many times there. At one time, he was practicing Vajaklaya, and others in Nepal, Asura Cave in Yaneshu there. And there another always obstacles occur at that time, and the evil spirit and some, making obstacles. Of course, it's not for obstacle for Pema Sambhava himself. He's a very powerful enlightened being, but they make troubles with around area for the people, like it's not raining and and so forth. Then Pema Sambhava sent a messenger to Nalanda University to bring some special text that relate to the Vajaklaya, and brought back to Nepal. And yeah, he practiced that. And in Nepal, auspicious coincidence occur and the good things happened there. What I'm telling is that as those, Pema Sambhava is very close related to Nalanda University. And then if you go to Nepal, now we see special places where he blessed. Still, devotees go there and practice, have a special, experiences. Asura Cave, Yangle Shu, and then Maratika Cave, that he was practicing Buddha Amitabha, right? Amitayus. Obtained deathless rainbow body. And still you can see this. We don't see particular, that does designated saying that, oh, that Pema Sambhava stay in this cave, something in India. It's very hard to find. Definitely he was in the Nalanda University in Bodh Gaya and I think Orissa, some that area, so forth. Okay, so that is a glimpse of his Dharma activities in India. Then we know that 8th century, invited by Dharma King Chosong Dechen, it's Veda and Buddhism is very important. And Pema Sambhava has power to give the empowerment and the teaching and to the kings, queens, ministers, right? And then those as later influence as the countries, areas. And so, and yeah, here, and oh, okay, so and here you can see now, um, yes, okay, yeah, here Pema Sambhava always, yeah, um, practice and the teaching, right, Dharma, in many areas. That's Nepal. Then 8th century, invited by Dharma King Toussaint Detsen, as I already mentioned, and before Pema Sambhava came to Tibet, at one great Indian Pandit scholar, his name is Hintarakita, as they all related, karmically, early years, lives, had made aspirations spreading Dharma, and there is no Dharmas. And that's their aspiration occurred in the 8th century as, born Dharma king is Toussaint Detsen. The Hintarakita was abbot of Nalanda University, invited by King Toussaint Detsen, tried to establish Dharma in Tibet. He taught like 10 virtues and interdependence, originations, and so forth, and try to build temple. But it's not uh, easy to spread the Dharma in Tibet at that time because there was Pen religion, right? Um, already have the religion, and also we call the Lokapalas. We believe the mountains have beings possess. It's very powerful. And those as beings um, don't like, bring new Dharma teachings and make lots of obstacles. Try to build temple. If they build during the day, at the night they destroy it and they take away woods and stones where it came from back. And it's very difficult to establish. Then Shintarakshita gave the prophecy advice to King Toussaint Detsen. He saying that you should invite Pema Sambhava. I can't, subdue those negative spirits. We call Lokapalas. And one who can subdue those Lokapalas is Pema Sambhava. And when Pema Sambhava came, it came to know that they sent a messenger to invite it. Pema Sambhava already knew those messengers coming, right? And Pema Sambhava already came to Nepal, the border of Nepal and Tibet. And they met there and they supplicated, come to Tibet, and he agreed. And then he says that your messengers should go back. I will come by myself through in the sky, right? And subdued those negative, Lokapalas. And then they knew a very powerful enlightened being is coming, and they tried to stop him. And he subdued during his journey to Tibet. Then he came, and first they met at near Lhasa, near Samye Monastery. King Toussaint Detsen and ministers and the queens all welcome him. And the king has pride of it, right? He's the king of that area. And Pema Sambhava knew he is a little bit arrogant. And he said, if I prostrated, respected the king, it's a auspicious coincidence. It could be the broken or losing the respect of the Dharma, right? He's the kind of master of Dharma. If you don't do it, then it's a little bit difficult, that situation, in order to spread the Dharma teachings in Tibet. So then he tried to, respect the king, like gesture or prostration, but then spark the light or fire and catch the king's clothing. Immediately just stopped, and the king fled of it. What a bad. And then prostrated King Pema Sambhava just immediately there. And then they're, become very close friends. At that time, they try to make, of course, this is very, very early. They're stopped to drink and eat and look at water. There is no water. Pema Sambhava revealed his walking stick, put it on the earth, and there's a water come out. Spring still is there. The people using it as blessing water, we call it revealed this water. So then he came to Samye Monastery and subdued, blessed the land, and tried to build the Samye Monastery, build it and consecrated everything. And then he's tried to live in India back. And the king supplicated again, should stay in Tibet to establish the scriptures. It's just only temple, it's not enough, right? He supplicated for the teachings. And the Pema Sambhava Shintarakita now came to some lesson we called Kenlop Chusum. Abbot of the Shintarakita, Abbot Shintarakita, Master Pema Sambhava, Dharma King to Destin. It's a crucial, important, established Vajrayana Buddhism in Tibet in the 8th century. So then, king supplicated they stay in Tibet and continuously teaching Dharma and translating Indian scriptures into Tibetan. There's no translators. And king brought some students or kids, tested how their tongue, maybe its ability to say Sanskrit words, or maybe they can learn something. And Pema Sambhava Shintarakshita taught some Sanskrit words. It's very hard to say, right? Their pronunciations, of course, is a new language. It can't pronounce correctly. And at some point, it's opposite of it. And that makes King was a little bit upset, thought maybe what he wishes won't be occur, which is Dharma established in Tibet. But then Pema Sambhava said that don't worry, there will be the translators, occur. He recognized 3 kids that was reincarnation of some great pandit, I think pandit or disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha that reborn in Tibet. Pema Sambhava recognized it, the three kids. He recognized father's name, mother's, and place. Then king went there and he found these three kids, brought back and others, and then they trained as translators. They recite, mantras as relate to the Manjushri, sharpening their, faculties, this mind. And also they give the special food that helps sharpening their mind. Then learned Sanskrit language and other languages too, to establish translator group, and some of it sent it to India back, and continuously, translating text and so forth, and very successfully translated a large text. And so that's where the Pema Sambhava is very much involved those, Dharma activities in Tibet, working with Shintarakita and Khenpo Gawang and others. Then there's 108 translators, 108 independents invited. They work together. And what we have right now, called Kanjur, over 100 volumes. And with most of those texts translated in that period of time, that very short period of time. But relatively, not all of it, but the majority part of it translate this. And Pema Sambhava gave the very important, Tantra teachings, Vedic teachings. Pema Sambhava is very much influenced of all the areas, not just only human, non-humans. As I mentioned, the Lokapalas. We believe in the mountain, right? And you see in the Himalaya mountains, they're all mountains like Mount Everest. As there's the ladies resigned there. They're the guardians of the Dharma. Later, the disciple of the Pema Sambhava, their job is protecting Dharma. Protecting is that not the tikas come from that area. Yeah, still we believe that it's those beings, right? Those beings, as a disciple, direct disciple of the Pema Sambhava, still they practice Dharma. Some of it, 8 level bodhisattvas. Before Pema Sambhava, there is very wrathful and mean spirit and hurting other beings. But later, as they become disciple of Pema Sambhava, the protector of the Dharma teachings, as there's the Dharma protectors, right? Yeah, countless of it. And then Pema Sambhava, he revealed, the treasure revealers, we have many treasure revealers revealing in the teachings, because he hide in many, many places. It could be in the sky, it could be in the mountains, the rocks, and the ocean, lakes, and under the ground, in any place, some in the temples. And at the different forms, text or Dakinis script or statues and different things. He hide it and with Yichitoja, and then he made aspirations, right? Then later, one of his disciples could be reincarnated as treasure revealers. They revealed their teachings, still is available, still is going on. So through the power of Pema Sambhava's blessings and the Dharma practitioners, is devoted as second Buddha, enlightened being, Rinpo body, right? As being. And when we supplicated to Pema Sambhava, and all the Buddhas is the same, has power, loving kindness, and compassion, wanting to help the sentient beings, remove obstacles. We believe that he has a special connection to degenerate the time, like now, as complicated situations occurring. Pema Sambhava was more powerful than other, you know, Buddha's bodhisattvas through his aspirations. And many Dharma practitioners had the vision or feeling that close connection with Pema Sambhava when they practice supplicated, reciting seven supplications, or reciting his mantras, or some sadhanas when they practice. And so, and Pema Sambhava, then he left from Tibet with a Kapakala mountain. And when he left in the Tibet, and there is invited by the Dakinis and so forth. They came, and then he flew in front of all ministers, kings, queens, and everybody's there have gathered, a gathering. But we believe that Pema Sambhava still, uh, um, it's of course, it's not separated from one's uh, devotees, right? Who has devotion with Pema Sambhava. The Pema Sambhava always present with their mind. And so we believe that Pema Sambhava is the Rinpo body. That means he doesn't have the flesh, bone, corporeal body. It's wisdom body. It's transparent. There's no aging, there's no death, there's no actually birth like general people. Right from beginning is enlightened being, right? And then he's manifest the different forms, the different ways in order to help the sentient beings through the Dharma teachings, through power of his protecting the Dharma, propagating Dharma, particular Vedanta teachings that Buddha gave the prophecy, and in the general for everybody, one who interested Vedanta, then through the Pema Sambhava's kindness, it's available, right? Still, and in the early years, there's few secretly practicing Vedanta teachings. It's not for everyone. And when Pema Sambhava came to Tibet, then that's Vedanta teachings spread widely, and everybody is practicing it. So, yeah, still this present time, still Dharma practitioners have indirectly connected and feel like connected to Pema Sambhava or blessed through the Pema Sambhava, right? Pema Sambhava supplicated and respected and practiced by all Buddhist Vedanta Buddhism, like Nyingma school and the Kaju school, Saja school, and the Gelug schools, and all four major schools of the Buddhism. As you can see, Pema Sambhava statues, tankas, paint, and also the practice group, and also individually practicing. And when they have obstacles, supplicated to Pema Sambhava, when they want to do special, events something, and then you can see big Pema Sambhava tankas like in the Bhutan at Namdole Monastery every year. Pema Sambhava's day, like today is Pema Sambhava's day. Every month, 10th month of lunar calendar is marked as Pema Sambhava's day. That's why I taught Pema Sambhava today, right? And I want to share you this, the photo, and here, then this is Dharma Ashoka. I should share you earlier, but I just prepared, right? This is Dharma Ashoka. I described he's very important Dharma protector through his work, and we have the Dharma, not only Vajrayana and Mahayana, it's all like Theravada um, too. And then the next is Dharma King Trison Detsen. They both, of course, Trison Detsen is a direct Pema Sambhava's disciple, and then Dharma Ashoka is the one way as a disciple of the Pema Sambhava too. And the Pema Sambhava, and when we're talking about Pema Sambhava in the 8th century, some stories back very, very early, even, 2000, over 2000 years go to back. When after Buddha's passed away, a very short period of time, Pema Sambhava appears. Sometimes we described Pema Sambhava as like human form. He has father and mother, siblings, and so forth. And then sometimes, this is the story of the Pema Sambhava. Majority of his biographies describing he was miraculous birth in the lotus. That's what I described. This is common. Yeah, that's I think a glimpse of the Pema Sambhava's biography today. If you have any questions, please raise hands, then we can